So what areas in the Phoenix metro area are we seeing opportunity? Or if you had to ask me where I would be investing, where would it be? What is up? This is Ed, Capstone Realty Professionals. I'm coming to you on this Friday, the 3rd of March. Reason for me saying the date again is I want to be able to look back on this video and remember exactly how I was feeling about the market and where it's at. I'm going to be referencing today some information from, of course, the Cromford Report, and just bring some feedback from things that we've been seeing here lately on a bunch of different fronts. Okay, so first thing that I wanted to point out, and hey, that question, someone asked me that question today. What am I seeing in the market, and where would I be? Where essentially would I be investing right now? And I am a huge proponent of Phoenix as a whole, but the downtown area, of course, we're invested in. Last night I was on a call for a development that is still in the works of getting approval, and just seeing the opportunity and seeing the positive outcome of new projects in infill and that can bring more people to downtown in this surrounding area is awesome. I think areas right now that are of interest are those that, of course, have major arteries that have been connected off of either the 202 or the 303, which are relatively newer freeways, and then those that connect with future jobs and employment. But again, I think most importantly is things that can get us to downtown, because downtown is getting cool. I love the downtown area. We are invested in the downtown area, but as we can see what the projects are and the opportunities that the city of Phoenix wants to see in these areas, I think is also very interesting and telling for what's to come. So be on the lookout. I've got some really fun things to share in the future for developments down here that we may or may not be taking part in or connected to. But I will at least keep you on the front of that because it's fun and it feels like we're a part of something and growing something that is far, far bigger than ourselves. So I'll leave that there. Want to talk about some numbers to support that information. Plus, want to talk about, let me see here, talk about being back in what we're calling a hot market, right? Hot market meaning seller's market, buyers not having as much leverage when it comes to negotiations. And I mean, inventory just being tougher. Getting back to another reason why I love Phoenix so much right now is that Phoenix is an area where, because it's more in the center of town, there's less inventory to buy, right? So people want to live closer. Let's say we hit another recession. Well, last time we had a recession, the first places to go, the first areas that were hit the hardest were those on the fringe areas, right? The Buckeyes, the Queen Creeks, the Maricopas, like the areas that were harder to reach. Why? Because people were losing their jobs, or gas was too high a price, so why travel so far to get to work? Why not live somewhere closer? And I think, along that same thinking, I think that's why Phoenix, just due to proximity, and honestly, like Phoenix downtown and Phoenix's area is so much cooler than it used to be. It's like this is where people want to be. It's significantly more walkable than it has been in the past, and it's progressing. It's getting better every time that I've got some friends that come from out of town. Every time they see it, they're like, "Oh, this is different," and it's like, yeah, there's definitely a newer, more progressive vibe here in Phoenix than there's been in the past. One of the things that Cromford talks about is, and I'll read this verbatim because I think it's interesting. You should anticipate house prices house price rises over the next coming months, no matter what you read in the media, which tends to base their reports and projections on housing data that is 1 to several months out. Look at me, my phone ringing like, good grief. You'd think this was my first time. Housing data that is 1 to several months out of date, such as the S&P Case-Shiller Home Price Index. Like, that's kind of interesting because we're talking about constantly on these videos how the data that we're often reading is dated, is older, or we don't know where it's coming from, right? We don't know the motivations of the sources and why they're putting that out there. Well, in this particular case, going just off the data, it's showing that, yeah, we should expect home price rises here in the Phoenix area just due to shortage of inventory. And even though demand has waned, we're still just seeing such a shortage of supply that it's making that in a very interesting place to be. On the flip side of that, on the rental side, we're starting to see some price compression. We're starting to see some pricing that we're hoping would last. This is usually a really good time in the market to be listing your properties for rent, but I'll give you an example of one in particular that I use as an example all the time, and it's a investment property that I picked up over by Westgate about 18 months ago, and we had the tenant just recently move out, and we were expecting, and the team was expecting to get higher rents, and having it on the market for now 30 days, it's showing that, hey, we need to probably bring those rents back down to reality because they're not, as high as we thought they would be once that tenant moved out. So again, conversations to have, definitely paying attention to what's going on with the rental pricing. But on the sale side, it seems to be busy. Our resale side of the business has definitely picked up. Inventory still really low, even for us, like on the sale side. We don't have a lot of properties that are for sale right now, but those that are getting a ton of traffic or are under contract already. So that's good news. But again, I'm definitely keeping tabs on the rental side, and I'll keep you posted with that. We were driving to a meeting this morning and, commenting to the team. There was 3 of us, myself, Evan, and Yaz were on our way to a meeting, and, there were a couple of humongous apartment complexes that we passed by that had yet to open, right? They're new construction and probably in the final phases of construction. And seeing these places just totally vacant and knowing that looks, hey, that place looks like it could house 500 people. That place looks like it could house even more, right? It's like, wow, what happens when all those people get here too? Like that's going to be interesting. Might need to start riding my bike to work or something. That'd be kind of fun. No more traffic. Cool. Hey, well, I appreciate you watching this week. Again, thanks for all the comments. If you haven't subscribed, please do. We're going to be putting out these videos, as we have regularly on the weeks, every week on Friday. But another thing is we are going to be putting together a series of videos that can help at different stages of transactions. So if you're subscribed to this, you'll see those drop as well. They may or may not be helpful to you, but we hope they're helping somebody. Cool. Stay cool out there. See you again.